All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
From a championship backfield to your morning drive.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5!
You're locked in to Off the Bench.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone. Boom!
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Yo!
Yo!
Well done, team. Welcome in. OTB Monday morning, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jake, Alondra, Tay Tay here with you. Turns out the new flashy tripod has got a wonky leg on it. You got to go get the old one out of the attic. We got to go climb up there, get
faithful.
the dust off of it, and just say, you know what? Sometimes old is better than new. So it is us three. Flynn is on business with My High, and it's kind of a big one, kind of a big boy. So good luck to Flynn and My High. He'll be back on tomorrow. We did get a chance to go to practice, though, on Saturday, so that was a lot of fun. He brought Huck, and I brought Memphis, and so we had some junior OTB reporters out there as well, so we'll certainly break that down. But like we do every single Monday, we got to see how the weekend went around the room. Alondra, did you end up not doing anything like you said?
So I didn't do anything on Saturday. I did work out a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And then on Sunday, I deep cleaned my house. I'm in a real good mood today. Like, my house is clean.
Yeah.
I went to the gym this morning.
Right.
Okay, so I went to go pick up my coffee at Starbucks, right?
Yep.
And the lady was like, "See you tomorrow." And I was like, "Ooh, I gotta find a new Starbucks now. I can't be a reg.
You can't be the see you
I
tomorrow.
can't be
you
the
saying?
see you tomorrow."
Oh,
Like,
man.
that just
I
feels
don't know.
so excessive.
As long as you use the app and you're not like T-Bob and literally get coffee every single day without using this tool that if you scan it, you probably have free coffee for a year.
Right. No, I use the app 100% so that I could get that free coffee.
Yeah, as you should have.
Yeah.
Still don't know what Bob's doing. But
The biggest
it feels like
issue-
I'm stealing from him. I'm
Not
like, no,
really.
it's rewards program.
Take the
Like,
rewards out of it. He used
make
to
so much
complain.
money.
He would call us and be like, "Guys, I'm going to be late. The person in front of me took 20 minutes." I'm like, "Order on the app ahead of time.
go.
Walk in, pick it up, and leave."
True.
He
If you
didn't
don't want to use the
understand that
rewards,
part.
don't use them.
That's
Yeah.
true. You don't have to use the reward. Like, you don't have to get a free drink if you don't
His
want
biggest
to.
You can
complaint
stack
was
'em
waiting in
up.
line.
Right.
You can stack them up and you can get cool stuff like, new cups and bags and coffee itself, like ground coffee.
No,
That man.
he ain't with that.
That man, every single day for 5 years that we worked together,
Right.
had a coffee from Starbucks and never
No
once
points.
used the app. Not one time.
I do love that something about it being this tripod feels so right.
Yeah, it does.
You
Gotta
know?
tell you, the
It
Yo's.
does.
The
The
Yo's-
Yo's were in sync.
I-
Three
y'all.
this morning. Some are saying better than 4.
That's what I'm hearing too.
I was like, okay, I'm the first waterfall of it. I got to be ready.
That's true. You got to be
I
ready.
feel
The
like I
waterfall is
nailed it.
important.
It really is.
Big step. It's a big step.
Flynn's been like doing ad lib Yo's.
I know.
The last few Yo's.
Like, hey, bud, we've
He's
been
like,
doing
yo,
this.
yo.
I know.
What are we doing?
It's not how this works. The whole point's to get everybody involved before we
Right.
get the, initially started.
Right. And then we made fun of him for the sports thing. Remember? Like, where he would be like, sports. And then he's like, you didn't laugh that time. And we're like, well, you can't do it. He hasn't done it. He hasn't done it.
You can't do it every day.
No.
It's not funny.
Right.
You got to do it like once a week. And then, we'll snicker at it because
Yeah.
we forgot about it. It's okay. He's learning.
Yeah.
He's learning.
Shut up, Flynn.
Slowly, but he's learning. He is really, though. It's a big one. Big meeting for My High. So hopefully all goes well, and he will be back tomorrow. He's probably listening. He's probably FOMO out the wazoo. Can't help himself.
Drop a yo in the chat.
Yeah, drop a yo in the chat if you're up there and you're listening with an AirPod in. Tay Tay, how was the weekend? How was the grass mowing? I know you did it. I don't know, but I know.
No, did not go
Yeah,
this
no
weekend.
way.
I
Okay,
know.
whatever.
He's lying.
Yeah.
It's either today or tomorrow. That's happening. I don't need y'all worrying. We had to go to Victoria's 10-year high school reunion on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, you did
and,
say
we're
that.
leaving, and she needs like a little bit of gas. I'm like, all right, let's get gas on the way home. I get out, and she's like, oh, it's my car. You want my card? I was like, I can get you gas. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I get out, open my wallet, left my card at the event. So then I was like, hey, I'm going to need it. Luckily, like, her best friend was still there.
Yeah.
She calls me. She's like, hey, Taylor left his card. Because it was that weird thing at the bar where they're like, we keep your card till the end of the night, which
Cash
I
bar?
hate.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate that.
I feel like not that many people do that anymore, but
Yeah.
they did it, and I walked off and left it. And like we're leaving that night, and Victoria goes, I feel like we're forgetting something. I was like, you got your purse and your phone? She's like, yeah. I was like, well, we're good. Walked right out. So I didn't have a debit card like all weekend. I got it like yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, they got like tap to pay now everywhere, so I
So
feel
I
like
use
that's
Apple
not.
Pay on
Yeah,
my
I was gonna
phone.
say, I feel
I
like
was about
that's
to
not
say,
that big of an issue now.
Right.
I mean, it is if you
used
don't
Apple
know where
Pay.
it's at and you have to get a new
Right.
one. And
I know.
everything,
So
but-
like for a while, a couple of years ago, I don't know why, but like I lost my card. Something whatever. And so like because you can do it on your phone, like that's what I did. Like I was Apple Pay, tap to pay, like whatever, and just continued to do it that way. And you know, I travel a ton from December to February for college football. And
Yeah.
it didn't matter because like hotels still have the tap to pay, and so like incidentals, boom, you could do that. And I went to one, and out in LA, and they didn't. And the amount of paperwork and like back channels I had to do just to pay for like incidentals
Yeah.
to be able to get into this. It
That's
was the
so
year
annoying.
TCU and Georgia played for the national
Yeah.
championship. I'm like, of all cities, like I've been to like Gainesville, Florida, Starkville, Mississippi. I have been to College Station, and this has worked. And in Los Angeles, it's not going to work.
yeah.
And it got me. So now I gotta carry a card because of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was hip. I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're
just
like,
let me
no
just
big
tap in a
deal.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let me get the phone out. It
You know
got
what
me.
I don't like though? At Whole Foods, I'll never do this. That you can just scan your hand. Did you see that?
What?
You
It's like
can
getting in our building now.
I know, I don't like that either.
Yeah, okay.
But that's more like the
is.
Bluetooth on your phone.
Yeah.
Because you have to have your phone with you if you do
Right.
that.
To
But
wave your hand. Yeah.
at Amazon, well, it is Amazon at Whole Foods that they use. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you just wave your hand. Here we go. Here's Flynn in the chat. Yo.
Hey,
You knew the
messing
all
up the
caps
yos
was
even
coming.
in the chat.
Right. But yeah,
He misses us.
you can just put your hand over the scanner and it pays for your groceries.
I don't
like
love
that.
that.
I know.
I like that.
No.
Nah.
It would have helped me over the weekend.
Man,
I like that.
That's like Mark of the Beast stuff. What are
I
we
know. I
talking
don't
about?
like it.
I'm good with it.
I don't even
Oh,
understand.
man.
I don't understand how your hand pay. Like, I think you have to have an Amazon account, but I still
Yeah.
don't get it.
I
Like,
don't
it
get it
doesn't
either.
register. in
There's
my
When you
no-
have an Amazon account, they sneak in and they chip you in your sleep.
But
And you
no
can-
doubt.
Yeah.
There is no way T-Bob's hand will be picked up on that scanner.
Which again, I'm
way
good
too
with.
no
small.
chance.
Which again, I'm good with because if it helps me and it's more convenient, you could chip me in my sleep. That's fine.
No.
After Flynn said, "Yo, we got a lot of wrestling talk, wrestling in the chat there." Hey, I'm hip. I'm cool. I watched it with my boys.
You did?
My 15-year-old and my 13-year-old. They were watching it, and it's like, hey, we'll turn it on in the living room if y'all like will stay out here, hang out with mom and dad, you know, be present, play with Harlow, do the whole deal.
Yeah.
And which they're typically good about, but you know, teen boys, they like to go play NCAA and be on their phones back in the room. And so they're out, and Brock Lesnar comes out after John Cena beats, what is Dusty Rhodes' son's name?
Cody Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes. And they like make this noise that I've never heard them make before. And of course, Harlow was like kind of napping in the back. They wake her up, like everybody in the house.
Wait, they were excited?
Yes. They
That
like
Brock Lesnar came out?
yeah, not even like they like Brock, but like it was like nobody saw it coming or something. So I definitely know all about it from last night because the noise they made when Brock Lesnar came out, it woke up Harlow.
He's still a big deal, man. I mean, look, people in the chat are talking about it.
I know. I didn't know it was I didn't know that it was such a thing still until my boys started watching it again. It's like it's on Netflix like every Monday.
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
is,
like a
yeah.
big deal. Like the pay-per-views are on Peacock now. Well, used to be pay-per-views. Now it's on Peacock.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
crazy.
had no idea.
Wait, so you don't have to pay to watch like WrestleMania or like the Money in the Bank
So
stuff
So, like-
anymore?
the big ones you do. The
Well, this
only
one like
thing on-
SummerSlam is on
SummerSlam?
Peacock.
That's crazy.
yeah, which
You
I
used
guess
to
you
have
still
to
pay for Peacock.
Yeah, you're
but-
paying
Yeah.
for the
I
Yeah,
just
that's what I
remember-
told the boys.
yeah.
Like, we used to have to like
I used to not be able to watch
Type in
that.
the credit card on the TV.
Oh,
or
like
anything.
No, I used to not even watch it.
$49.95 or something.
Yeah.
You gotta
For
like
one
beg
match,
your
yeah.
parents, like, hey, can I order WrestleMania?
No,
Or like
we were never
my
allowed.
uncle, shout out Sammy, like he'd get it, and
Yeah.
like we'd all go over there watch Survivor Series or whatever it was, and then the
That's
next
crazy.
one, my dad would get, and everybody, all the cousins would come over to our house. Now, just right there on Peacock.
Oh man, we were in elementary. USA Network.
Yeah,
they would
that's where
rerun
Raw
it.
was on.
They
Yeah.
would rerun it the day after.
Yeah.
I know.
So,
I
like,
would
we
always
would all
have to
go
wait.
home the day after and be like, oh, and it was cool because like none of us had seen it, so it was
Yeah.
all technically live
Right.
to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Kids these days have it so
It's
easy.
So easy. So easy. Oh, you want to watch this movie on demand? Yeah, just go type it into the TV.
Right.
You don't have to get the TV guide and see what day of the month it's coming on, and you better hope
Wait.
that you're home at 7 when it starts.
You got to TiVo it.
This is before TiVo. Like TiVo was like incredible.
Yeah.
Because you could actually kind of go back and pause stuff. All right, before we take a break, Tay Tay, we're on air. We got everything going. When Alondra and I walked in this morning,
Oh, gosh.
you were on the phone, and if somebody's on the phone talking that loud at 6:55 in the morning, it's never good.
I don't like it.
No. So Friday we had the issue where couldn't drag anything over. Well, guys, it's the same thing this morning. Now, it wasn't the same for the midday and the afternoon show. We had a temporary fix on Friday. I came in.
What?
Guys, believe it or not,
No way.
I'm
It
the
was
guinea,
fixed for
I'm
those
the guinea
shows?
pig for most of this crap.
Buddy,
Because if it happens over the
OTB's
weekend,
the guinea pig.
well, because if it happens over the
Always
weekend,
has been.
nobody knows till I get here and I'm like, hey, what the hell? So that's
Yeah, I think
kinda
maybe
where we're
we
at.
should start sending somebody in here for
I
like
gotta
a life
gotta-
check on Sunday
I
afternoon.
gotta
Oh
work
yeah,
around
that's
now.
a good idea.
It's pretty quick
I'll
check.
do it. I'm here Sundays anyways.
Well, I don't think you need to do any more than
We got
you
a
already do.
little bit
I
of
was
a
kind
workaround
of
today,
like
though.
calling somebody outside of this room, whoever wants to come in.
We got a workaround, and I know what you're saying. This was a workaround we had on Friday. Yeah, I didn't think about it on Friday. Broke mid-show. I didn't think about it. So we're going to use the live reads from back here.
If
Just
you
like we
say
do with
so.
a video caller.
Look, you
I
say
mean,
so.
whatever
I got
that
it ready.
means.
I'm a meathead. I just sit up here and talk. I don't know
There you
what in
go.
the world. Okay,
Got it ready.
there it goes. It's right behind it. And let's go ahead. We'll go to break. When we come back, I think Tay Tay went to practice. I went to practice. Flynn, who's not here, went to practice. And so it was fun to get our eyes on the LSU Tigers. I was very excited for some of the things that I saw. And we'll kind of recap everything when we come back to really get this thing started here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to pelicanroof.com. Pelicanroof.com is the website for Pelican Roofing. And once you get there, a couple of things I always encourage you to do, and that's to check out the 5-star reviews right there on the homepage. Yelp, Facebook, Google, and the internet hates everything, and they love Pelican Roofing. Just tells you exactly what kind of work they're going to always get done on your project, at your home, at your business. It is an unmatched roofing experience. Also, if you need a roof quote, you can get your price right now. Instant roof quote tool right there on top right corner of the website. You type in your address, your home, your business, whatever it might be, and it's going to give you a great idea of what that cost is going to be. Then also check out the financing options they have. They can finance in-house. They've got options for you, right? So go ahead, get qualified in Lafayette, in Baton Rouge, locations in both. Check them out online, always at pelicanroof.com.
From players to legends, Hester and Flynn break down LSU football like only champions can.
All right, welcome back in. OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge here on this Monday morning. Before we break down LSU training camp, let's go ahead and get this thing started.
It's time to get glowing, courtesy of GoFlow IV Spa, where hydration, vitamins, and a summer-ready glow are always on tap. Now, for starters.
All right, go to GoFlowIV.com. That's for GoFlow IV Spa, Health, and Wellness. Membership packages right there on the homepage. A full list of services they have for you, right? If you want to book right there on the website, you can certainly get that done. You can find out all the information on the website, but if you just want to pick up the phone, give them a call. That is 225-953-8150. Kind of have a conversation with them. I mean, they are going to get you hydrated for this summer heat. You can be proactive, reactive. I mean, they kind of deal, obviously, with both. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday through Sunday, 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And again, that is goflowiv.com. All right, Tay Tay, I'll throw it to you before I kind of give some thoughts. You were at practice the full time on Saturday. I was also there on Saturday, so let's see if some of the things that we saw actually line up.
First thing I want to highlight is the secondary because they were awful last year in fall practice. Like you could kind of see it coming. You could kind of see it coming a little bit last year. Like we had talked about their flaws coming into the year last year, and that was the big concern. I think the secondary looks really good. Like there's guys battling for spots. Like Stamps and Delane have kind of been the top two for the most part, but like Jakeem Jackson got in there and made plays. DJ Pickett looks the part already.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
The safety rotation, which I love that Halsey and Cooley both got the start.
Cooley's a little bit bigger than I thought he was off tape.
Halsey?
No, Cooley.
Oh, Cooley? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a giant. Like he's probably 208, 210. On tape, he looked like he was like 195.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Like I kind of went up and he made a play and I'm like, is Zero Cooley? And I forget which staff member I was talking like, I was like, okay, I did not have him playing that role and playing that size. So he flashed to me as well.
Yeah, he's big. If this offensive line can be average, Caden Durham has a chance to be all SEC. I think he looks phenomenal out there. I mean, also what you notice is 7-on-7, 11-on-11, Caden Durham's getting the ball very often. Yeah. Like I think 11-on-11, each period we saw, he got the ball first play. And then first two plays in 7-on-7, they threw it to him out of the backfield. Like, they love going to Caden Durham. And then people are going to be surprised how versatile Bauer Sharp is.
Yeah.
Like, people talk about Trey'Dez Green. Oh, he's going to move inside. He's going to move outside. I saw Bauer Sharp lined up at tight end with his hand in the dirt. I saw him line up as slot receiver. And I saw him line up at running back with Caden Durham. Mm-hmm. They were on either side of Garrett Nussmeier. That guy's going to play a lot of football as well.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with the strength staff, and they said probably the biggest surprise in a positive way of all the new people, be it high school or be it people that came in through the portal, Bauer Sharp certainly is that guy. Didn't quite know all the things that he could do. And so we actually kind of line up because the defensive backs was something that I was like, okay, this is better. This looks much better than it did a year ago. I mean, since you already went for it, they were terrible last year. I feel like I can kind of pile on. The transfers look the part. They look like veteran players. Now, Pickett is somebody, I don't know if it's right out of the gates. I don't know if it's in Clemson, South Carolina. But at some point, he has the look of somebody that's going to be hard to take off the field as a true freshman. I don't know when that happens. I don't know how he evolves as a player and if it's later in the season. But he was in there against the ones. I mean, multiple times. Now, he wasn't running with the ones, specifically every single time out, but he was rotating in against the one offense. And so that's somebody that looks like so far he is living up to all the billing we had out of high school. But my biggest takeaway of the entire practice that I saw, from inside run to 11-on-11 to whatever drill it was, is Caden Durham is going to be an all-SEC running back.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's first team. I don't know if it's second team.
If the O-line can be average.
The only reason it's going to be second team is because he might not get the rushes that somebody else gets. Because even last year, we're talking about somebody that had 750 yards on the ground, averaged 5.5 yards per carry. And remember, he had a foot-toe injury basically the final 8 games, and he was never fully healthy. I cannot tell you how many times after a game we'd be getting on the team plane and the coaches would be like, man, that run that Caden had, if he was healthy, he hits his head on the goalpost. Like he would have finished that in the end zone, right? I forget, which game it was, but he had a couple where he broke out and look, they were like 60-yard runs, but he'd get caught before he got to the end zone. And like he is just gritting his way through this foot injury. And so being a true freshman, knowing you have elite speed and you are fully healthy, that should get LSU fans excited. And not only the 750 yards on the ground, but he also added 27 catches. It's That's a pretty big number. That probably puts him, I think firmly it would put him in top 10 catches by a running back in a season. Like it's kind of that category. Like it's right there probably on the verge of that. And that's got to be something that continues to go up as well. Now, it's training camp, so we didn't see a ton, and it was, day 3 or 4, we didn't see a ton of, like, blitzes and him having to pick up guys off the edge or pick up a safety, coming on the backside of a blitz. That's where he had to go up, in my opinion. That's where you're going to miss Josh Williams, because Josh Williams was Mr. Fixer, right? He was the guy that would come, and whatever the problem was, he would fix it. Now, the ceiling might not be where Caden's was, but you knew Josh was going to be really good in pass protection as well. That's got to go up because LSU's going to throw the football, and they're going to throw the football a lot. And you can't, in today's college football, really any level of football, you can't have a running back that's only a 2-down back. He's got to be a 3-down back, certainly with the way he can catch the football. And so I want to see that. And if he has that, if he's gone up a couple steps in that, then I'm already standing fully behind my all-SEC. Like, he'll be a first-team guy if he has 36 catches, is really good in pass protection, and doesn't have to come off the field. He's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher if healthy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to happen.
Like, I'm good with him having 20 carries a game, Caleb Jackson coming in, spelling him for maybe 8, Harlem Berry maybe, 6 or 7. Like, I want Caden Durham to do the bulk of the work. Last thing I noticed, anytime a player like Aaron Anderson misses practice, it should stand out. It didn't. And that's not a knock on Aaron Anderson. It's because the rest of the receiver room's really good. Like, I had heard a couple people, because like the first couple days of practice, we weren't able to go because it was like 9 a.m. Saturday was my first time out there. Yeah. And I had heard so many people say, oh, Destin Hill. And I'm like, okay, every year, just like in the NFL, there's a guy that people fall in love with. Destin Hill looks like he's going to actually play and play a lot of football. Nick Anderson looks like he's almost fully healthy. Like, Chris Hilton's out there catching balls. Like, I love Aaron Anderson. Kyle Parker looks awesome.
in the run game. And I know that's not something that people want to hear a lot about, a receiver in the run game. They're asking their receivers to do more on the edge. I don't know if you noticed that. And again, it's one practice. They got some runs up where they're asking their receivers to do their part. And Kyle Parker was a dog out there on the edge. Now, again, you've got 10 receivers that feel like they could go out there and find time. And I don't know how that's going to work itself out. But that feels like something that they're looking for, is receivers that can also do their part on the edges.
Well, Kelly's opening press conference that I had to go to on Wednesday, unsolicited, mentioned Kyle Parker by name when asked about the receivers. Like, anytime a coach does that when not being specifically asked about a player, that's something I take note of.
I'll say this too. I had an offensive coach do the same thing after practice.
Well, he was really good the first 3 or 4 games of the year. Remember, he caught the deep ball against UCLA and was kind of hurt the rest of the year. He looks good, but Jawan Johnson is a guy that, like, he got carries in the backfield, a ton of them on Saturday. Like, I left Saturday practice being like, okay, if the season started today, Jawan Johnson's your number 2 running back. And, when the 2s were out there in 7-on-7, he rotated in with Michael Van Buren at quarterback. Now, he didn't have the red jersey on, but he lined up out wide. He lined up at quarterback.
There's a plan for him.
He lined up at running back. Like, he's going to play.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. I'm going to be honest, like, backup running back is a little bit of a worry for me, because you have 2 true freshmen. Now, I can't sit up here and act like I don't always say it, because I do. Like, if you can transition from high school to college fast, it's going to be at running back. But still, that might take 4-5 games. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are. Like, think about all the stud running back. Like, Leonard Fournette's freshman year was a grown man, but it took him like 3 or 4 games. Because you've always been able to get the football and hit a home run. Like, your head's on the goalpost. You got to learn how to read it a little bit, right? It's faster. You got to take a 7-yard run and not always look for the 70-yard run. And Leonard did that incredibly fast. But are these backs? Like, JT Lindsey's long, man. His frame is going to be able to add a ton more to it. Maybe not this year, but certainly next year. And those young guys are going to play. Like, Caleb Jackson's got to be effective for this team. He just has to be. There's no question about it. Like, as much as I think Caden Durham can be Superman, he's going to need a breather. There's going to be a time in a big game where he hits a long run and he taps the top of his helmet asking to come out. And when Caleb Jackson rolls out there, they have to get production. He is one of the most important players, I think, on this football team. Certainly non-starters, because of what they have to have him do. Not what they would like for him to do. They have to have him be successful when he's out there.
Yeah, I mean, at least because you don't have that short yardage back. And I understand Josh Williams wasn't built like a short yardage back, but he was damn good at it.
Well, he was by the time he came back.
He was
from
by,
pro day.
by his sixth year, yeah, but he was really good at it. Like, Caden Durham could maybe be that guy, but look, we talked about Jawan Johnson. He's not really a short yardage guy. He's more of a finesse guy. Kind of the same thing with Harlem Berry and JT Lindsey. There's going to be a role for Caleb Jackson, at least in short yardage and at least early in the year.
Going to have to be.
Because you talked about it, like, it might be easy to adjust at a running back as freshmen, but they physically look like freshmen right now. Like, they're a little on the lighter side. I think they need to gain a little bit. So Caleb's going to have to play early.
That's what I was saying with JT. You can tell, like, so he just got here, I believe, in the summer. He wasn't an early enrollee. Not here in the spring. You can tell, like, you can look at him and say, oh, that guy can add 15 pounds to his frame with ease and not lose anything, but he's not going to do it right now. Like, that's going to take some time. Like, Caleb Jackson is going to be as important as any non-starter on this team, offense or defense, because he's going to have to give you something. Like, there has to be something there. It doesn't matter what year you look at for LSU, like the most historic seasons that LSU's ever had. They've had a bell cow, but they've also had players underneath that bell cow that helped them win national championships. I mean, you can look at it in 03, like there's 5 backs. In 07, there's 5 backs. In 11, when they got there and didn't win it, but that was a damn good football team, there was 5 backs. Clyde's kind of the outlier. Now, because Clyde's kind of in the similar situation that Barry finds himself in, or sorry, Durham finds himself in, because Barry, it's kind of like Emory, and you had TDP, who was a young player as well. But for the most part, and still, those guys made plays that year in 19. You're going to have somebody step up, and it's got to be Caleb Jackson, because you've got 2 true freshmen behind him. So certainly going to be somebody we continue to watch, and he's going to have to continue to develop, he looks the part, and we know he's got a skill set, but he's got to put all that together to help LSU move the football. All right, let's talk a little recruiting. LSU had another big weekend, another big commit, and we'll do that when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Look, I know that summertime, it's basically over. A lot of people go back to school this week, and I'm sorry for that. I am sorry that moment has come, right? Summer vacations and being toes in the sand, all that's going to end. But it does not mean that you still can't rent a Toyota from All-Star, because you're going to have a trip. Maybe it's a trip to go watch the Tigers play, or maybe you want to go watch the Saints play a road game, like whatever it might, or maybe you're a high school football parent and you're playing, up in North Louisiana, and you're like, we need something a little bit bigger. We got to drive up 3.5, 4 hours. Like, go rent a Toyota. Everything is available. So if you need something bigger, they've got you. But always remember, if you're buying new, if you're leasing, if you're renting, everything they offer is always available in all 3 processes. Go to the website today to reserve your vehicle, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Let's talk a little LSU football, a little LSU recruiting. Bryce Koon is going to join us to do so over there now at On3 Sports. Bryce, we appreciate the time, man. Congrats on the new gig.
Yeah, man. No better time to start right in the midst of the beginning of fall camp, and obviously with what the recruiting run LSU's been on, it's been quite the run there too. So no better time to start than right now.
They are absolutely on a heater, and it feels like every time that we talk LSU recruiting this cycle, it's like, all right, well, where did we leave off? Like, who's the last guy that they got that we talked about? And you try to like kind of play catch up a little bit. So for our listeners, like, what has the last 10 days or so been like for LSU on the trail?
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, and just in terms of if you're a fan, if you're a subscriber to one of the many message boards on this beat, it's like, you turn your head and you miss a commitment, or you turn your head and you miss kind of the latest tidbit or nugget. So it really has been a whirlwind, and you kind of go back to, I guess, Darryus McKinley, which feels like it was 5, 6, 7 days ago. It was just a couple of days ago. Obviously out of Acadiana over there, brother of Don McKinley, and a guy that made his decision, and really and truthfully, I didn't. Nobody wanted to spoil it for him, but this was a race that LSU was really kind of leading the whole way. I mean, you go back to the race for Dom and how LSU flipped him on New Year's a couple of years ago, and just Darryus and what he brings to the table, the way that family feels about the LSU staff, even in the transition from Bo Davis to Kyle Williams. I mean, it's just continued to stay solid. So Darryus McKinley obviously going to choose LSU, is there, and man, he's been on campus so many times, just on family day when the family's allowed to come out and practice. So it's the amount of unofficial visits he's taken probably rivals a guy like Lamar Brown, who's right there on campus. So that was a big pickup. And then obviously, man, Deuce Gerald's. I mean, good grief. Yeah. I mean, Jacob, I'm a guy that's from the state of Georgia originally. I watched Gerald play up at Collins Hill multiple times before making the move, down to Louisiana. And when you get a guy who, and maybe I'm a little biased here, but when you get a guy here who's from Louisiana, understands the culture, understands what LSU's about, the relationship between his dad and Frank Wilson, and he still gets to go play some really, really great high school ball. That 6A, 7A ball over there in the state of Georgia, which is really, really good at that level. I mean, that's the kind of development piece you look at and you say, okay, he's doing it against guys that are going to play D1. We know he's going to be able to make the transition as long as the head's on straight. And that was something they just had to vet in terms of, making sure that he understood that this wasn't, another 6A high school football game. This is the big boy league. And so, LSU did a great job, I can say, in terms of making sure everything was right in this recruitment. This was kind of an Oregon lean for a while. Yeah. But we had kept telling our subscribers, hey, don't count them out here. That relationship with his dad and Frank Wilson, who recruited him to Ole Miss, and then obviously with what he had going on in terms of the amount of times he's been on campus, it just never felt like LSU was out of it. And I guess for Tiger fans, it feels pretty good because if we're telling you LSU's not out of it, oftentimes than not, Austin Thomas and the crew are getting it done and able to kind of, put the nail in the coffin with a lot of these recruitments.
Yeah, and it really does, Bryce, seem like it's a point of emphasis to shore up the defensive line and kind of get it back to we all used to know the LSU defensive line. It's not to say that they haven't had pros in the past, but I mean, you would look up and there would be 4 pros in front of you. And I know I can speak on our team, like our best player on our championship team was a defensive tackle. It was Glenn Dorsey. And it does feel like Kyle Williams now coming in as a defensive line coach, he's got kind of a prototype that he's looking at. Like some of these guys, they're not your 350-pound defensive tackles. Like you have some of that, but it looks like it's like the 270, 285-pound defensive tackles, and they really kind of got, a certain body type that they're looking for at that position.
Yeah, I'd agree. And even being out at, fall practice you're seeing type of drills that Kyle Williams is running these guys through, and they want to be athletic side to side. I mean, yeah, you still have to have, your big run stuffers. You got to have guys that can, take on a double team and not be moved off the line. But you got to have guys that are disruptors in this league, right? And you have to have guys that understand how to utilize their hands, have, this ability to shed a block and then make a play in the backfield. They're not just, stalling the offensive line. They're pushing them back and making some plays. And, I think maybe the prototype of what we're seeing currently on that D-line is a guy like Ahmad Bro, who put on so much weight to even play defensive tackle. And now you're looking at who they're recruiting in that kind of, we'll just say 270 to 290 range. Well, they're looking at, okay, how are they utilizing Bro? He's a guy who can move side to side. When he played along that entire defensive line at Ruston a couple of years ago, I mean, that's what he was known for, and even playing on the edge a little bit. So, yeah, I just think where they're moving in terms of how they want to recruit this defensive line, maybe, old school fans are saying, hey, where's the big 330 pounder, right? I mean, well, one, those guys don't grow on trees, and you got to make sure they can move a little bit too. And they got a guy like Sadir Mitchell, who's, can be that for them. But just in terms of how they're recruiting, man, you look along that defensive line. I mean, it has the potential to be one of the better ones when you go back in the recruiting rankings. Just based off of that potential, it's got the chance to be one of the better ones in LSU recruiting history.
Talking recruiting with Bryce Koon here on OTB. And you mentioned Lamar Brown there, and we all know, I mean, how highly touted he is. And so obviously, like, him coming and committing and all that, it's going to be a big get. But even more importantly, like, from him being from UI, being on campus. And look, full disclosure, our listeners, that's where my kids go. Our listeners know that. We talk about it all the time. And like look, that's even one of my worries all the time. It's like, man, are they really going to want to go, to school at LSU? I sure hope so, even though they've been on campus their entire lives. Like, it's always a concern. But so, like, to get him from where he was at school, and now you've kind of got this little nice pipeline you've created. But like last year, you get Moses, now you get Brown, and a guy that's here in the city can kind of be that lead recruiter. So as much as like on the field certainly helps, like what Lamar Brown seems like he's doing off the field for this class is also helping as much, or, maybe it seems like right now because he's already locked in, more.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll kind of take it a step further here with you. The leader that Lamar Brown is in the recruiting room goes well beyond just the tweet that he put out, yesterday, right? I mean, this is a guy who, has done the camp circuit, has built relationships, in terms of whether it was on the Under Armour camp circuit or wherever it was. I mean, he's building those relationships in terms of saying, hey, come play with us. Richard Anderson was a guy who I think is going to be an absolute monster out of Ed-Car. I mean, that guy, you talk about he's big and can move. That's exactly what he is. He and Lamar are super tight. I've talked with Richard multiple times about that. And just in terms of they want to build it, Deuce Gerald's the guy that every single time Deuce came to campus, whether it was official or unofficial, Lamar Brown was around. And so, I always say that the love from Texas A&M and even some of the appreciation, that was real. That was never fake. Yeah. I mean, I think they did a great job of recruiting him, but LSU is always going to be hard to beat. And, here's the last part of it that you were kind of hinting at here. I mean, there's a safety over there at Catholic that's looking to head up north, and you're already kind of seeing some of the push with, a move LSU made in terms of bringing, a staffer from Ohio State down. And, the big question is, can you do enough to flip Blaine Bradford, right? And Lamar Brown, if I have to have a player or a recruit helping me in that room, Lamar is one of those. He and Blaine have a good relationship. And, I don't know if it's something that LSU is going to be able to do. Ohio State had a pretty good track record of developing some safeties, and they got a pretty dang good one up there right now that they're trying to pattern Blaine afterwards. But it's just one of those things, man. We're having guys like that who are vocal leaders and build authentic relationships helps you so much. And it often goes, I guess, unseen because we just think, oh, well, they had more money or they had this. Yeah. No, those relationships still do matter, and they still play a pivotal role.
All right, Bryce, last one before we let you go, and we certainly appreciate the time. What's next? Like, what's next for LSU? What are some names to be out looking for to see where they're going to end up, and, kind of the next couple of guys that LSU fans need to really kind of hone in on?
Yep, I'm going to tell you, Greene County, Mississippi wide receiver Jace Matthews is announcing on August the 8th. I talked with him yesterday. You can check out that full interview over at the Bengal Tiger, but just kind of a synopsis. Cortez Hankton has really done a great job here. This is kind of a race right now for me, just talking with some people on both sides and in both programs, really. It's Auburn and LSU. Derek Nix over there on Auburn's staff, he's a Mississippi guy. I believe he's in the Southern Miss Hall of Fame there as well in terms of his playing career. So he's got really good roots in that state. Auburn's done a good job here. But, man, LSU's really pushing and kind of putting a hard sell on him. And his mom is a pivotal piece of this. And so his mom has played a big role in his recruitment. She's gone on all the visits. She loved LSU. So that's what I'm watching on August the 8th. He'll be making that decision. And then at the end of the month, just kind of another one, Darius Gray, the big offensive lineman that, from up there kind of in the Maryland area. I mean, this is a kid, the Virginia area. It's one of those things where he loves Brad Davis. And a lot of questions is, would he be willing to, move that far away? And just talking with him and the amount of times he's been to campus, the amount of times that Brad Davis has reached out. I mean, look, you don't have to be a diehard LSU fan to look up what Davis has done in terms of recruiting good talent that maybe he's not even necessarily in the LSU region. I mean, he's got a national reach with how he recruits. So Gray's the guy that I believe announces on August the 22nd. Right now, I would probably put it as a South Carolina LSU race, which might, pique some of the interest of LSU fans saying, South Carolina, really? But the Gamecocks with him. It's his longest standing relationship. It's one that started very early on in his high school career. Tennessee, Ohio State are in that race too. But, the Tigers have a really good chance to really snag, some really good players before the season officially starts. And that's what you want, right? Before these kids really get to the meat and potatoes of their senior year, get that commitment, maybe get them for one last visit so they can experience that game day atmosphere. I know that's something that Gray is excited to do regardless of where he commits on the 22nd. So, it's there's some potential for some fireworks before LSU kicks off against Clemson.
All right, there he is, Bryce Koon, good enough to join us at Bryce_Koon is the handle on social media. Give him a follow there at Bengal Tiger on 3. Also, always throwing up LSU articles. Give them a follow as well. Bryce, we appreciate the time, man. Look forward to our next conversation.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, we will step away, and when we come back to end hour number 1, Taylor's top 3. I like that alliteration there. It was Taylor's top 5. I think Taylor's top 3 sounds better. We can talk about it during the break. Alliteration, triple T, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Taylor's going to give you a list when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to gotommies.com, Geaux, Tommies with a Y.com, and you will clearly see the difference. Of course, that is Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, and they continue to stack awards. We told you about the Angie Super Service Award every year since 2016, but this year, Best Windows in Baton Rouge and the Advocate, that is Tommy and the team. So when you go to the website, one thing we always encourage you to do is check out the gallery of work that they have right there. You will see exactly what they can do for you. They've done it here in the greater Baton Rouge area, right, for multiple decades. And also, one thing, they can customize your job. So if you don't see it on there, don't worry, because they're going to be able to get that done every single time. They'll come out, you'll tell them what you're looking for, and they'll find a way. Testimonials of past clients right there on the homepage as well. You can check out all the latest and greatest when it comes to windows, doors, and siding. Go to the website today. Contact them. Have them come out. That's gotommies.com.
Yeah!
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn, Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
All right, welcome back in OTB. It's time now for Taylor's top 3, or we'll see how he's acting. Tay Tay's top 3. A lot of T's.
Number 3 for me, it's LSU's big recruiting weekend. I mean, we just talked about it with Bryce Koon. You get Deuce Gerald's on board. You get McKinley, Darryus McKinley, that is, on board as well. The Tigers aren't done. There's a lot of top prospects that are going to be in the mix for the time being. I think LSU has done a great job. Like we were talking transfer portal a little bit earlier. LSU could start 18 transfer players potentially on this year's team. Like whether it's high school, whether it's transfer, I think Kelly has done an excellent job. Number 2 for me, we're actually top 2 are going to be baseball. Big stitch head over here. Julio Rodriguez, I should say, he homered over the weekend as the Mariners beat the Rangers. He became the first player in Major League history to have 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases in each of his first 4 seasons. Our guy made history over the weekend. And then number 1 for me, it's Bristol Motor Speedway. We were talking about it during break. Like the NASCAR sounds, the game, like you were talking, game 1 actually got postponed, which would have been a really big pitcher's duel. But the sounds of that, the NASCAR, like 91,000 people in that stadium.
Biggest ever, right?
Yes, that is the biggest ever for a Major League Baseball game. It was phenomenal. Like you saw Tennessee do this against Virginia Tech a few years ago. They were at Talladega where they played that game, and it was awesome. They played the football game. The baseball game in Bristol was excellent. Like that's number 1 over the weekend by a long shot.
where would y'all like to see a baseball game be played? Because they've actually branched out. Like, we've had the Field of Dreams games.
I want them to bring that back.
Okay.
I want
Field
them
of
to
Dreams
do
game was
that.
awesome.
I want them to do that at least once a year.
Yeah, I agree. That was awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, even like, the memes that came out with Kevin Costner looking around and stuff, it was still really, really cool.
Yeah.
Because baseball needs some juice.
Yeah.
Right.
They
Well,
need some things.
Just let them start doing steroids again.
The conversation over the weekend, I heard a lot of people bring up, does this help baseball more or NASCAR more? I say it helps baseball more. Because, like,
I do too.
NASCAR is such a niche market. Like, sure, but those fans are hardcore. They're
they'll
going
be there every
regardless.
weekend. Yeah.
Those NASCAR fans are going to go to that baseball game for sure. Like, we
Yeah.
talked about the sights and sounds. It sounded like you were at a NASCAR race. I think this was huge for baseball.
Yeah. And, it's really smart having the Braves there. I would say of the NASCAR community, the Braves are probably the team that people root for the most. And so well done. It was very, very cool. Hopefully baseball does some more of that. Hey, the Braves actually won a game on Sunday. They'd lost, I think, 10 straight on Sunday. So there you go. There's that as well. All right. Hello, somebody. Big Fave kicks off hour number 2 when we come back on OTB.
Off the bench.
Although he did say, can you call me at 8:05? Big Fave, what you doing for 5 minutes? What you got going on? You serving cheesecake? What we got going on? YourGoodwood.com is the website for Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Go to the website, find a full list of services they can help you out with. Also find the pricing guide right there on the homepage. I always encourage you, if you've got an issue, do not settle. Book your consultation. If you have a problem, go find the solution. And the solution is going to be at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, because they're going to be able to, formalize a plan for you, because everybody's got something different. Like, your issues aren't going to be your neighbor's issues, but you go tell them what you've got going on, right? They'll draw your labs and they'll figure out what's going on with you and give you a solution. But they can't do it unless you book a consultation on YourGoodwood.com.